Last month we brought you our exclusive look at Mercedes' GLA. That was the 220D with four-wheel drive. This here is the GLA 200, the petrol, which gets 163 horsepower, no four-wheel drive and a more attractive price. Just what is it like to drive? Let's get straight in behind the wheel. While the petrol GLA is down on power, what works in its favor is that it is around 180 kilos lighter. This is because there's no heavy four-wheel drive system and the petrol engine is lighter than the diesel too. As a result, it has a similar power to weight ratio. Now this 1.3 is an engine Mercedes share with the Renault-Nissan alliance. While the Merc engine is similar, it differs in many ways. This includes its state of tune, where it puts out 163 horsepower and importantly 250 Nm of torque from just 1620 RPM. At low engine speeds, this engine does get a bit throaty, and although the gearbox is quick and masks it well, there is a bit of lag. Put your foot down after 2000 RPM however, and there is a nice slug of torque, and the GLA moves forward effortlessly. And stay between 3 and 4,500 RPM, and this engine is in its element. In fact, the delivery of torque is so good, it feels like it's larger than its 1.3 litre capacity suggests. Power delivery isn't explosive and the ramp up in power isn't sudden. The engine, however, isn't particularly happy being spun fast. Press on harder after 5,000 however, and it feels noisy and strained. And that means it's best driven at a more relaxed pace, where you sort of shift up a bit earlier than you would normally with a petrol. Straight line performance, however, is more than acceptable. Mercedes claims the GLA 200 takes 8.7 seconds to get to 100 km an hour, which makes it around a second and a half slower than the diesel. And for the most part, the gearbox works well and only sweetens the driving experience. There is some small amount of hesitation from the 7-speed dual-clutch auto, and occasionally you do get a brief pause. To add a dash of efficiency, Merc have even included a mild hybrid system that winds back otherwise lost power to the battery. While performance isn't as strong as the diesel, the ride is actually better. With its lighter engine and smaller wheels, the petrol GLA rides a bit better. Cushioning is nicer. It sort of rounds off the bumps in a better way. And although you do feel some of the sharper and larger bumps, it doesn't quite thud through like the diesel. And what's nice is that the suspension even works silently for the most part. The petrol GLA is also reasonably entertaining to drive. Now the GLA does roll a bit in corners, and without the four-wheel drive, it doesn't have the same amount of grip. But it's still fun and engaging, and the steering wheel is pretty accurate, so you can place the car nicely and enjoy the road. It's also effort-free to drive in traffic, and since the engine has a strong mid-range, it even manages quick bursts of power pretty well. The petrol GLA looks brighter on the inside compared to the AMG line. Whilst the earlier AMG spec was all black, this is more luxurious. It's got this two-tone look which really gives the cabin a lift. There's nice wood paneling here and here on the doors, and the blend of chrome, wood, piano black and the soft touch leather really gives it an upmarket feel. There are some not so well built plastics lower down in the cabin, and the bottom of the door pads are pretty ordinary, but you also get plenty of interesting features. In terms of kit, you also get this LED mood lighting, this twist to close vents, beautifully built, also with LED lighting inside, the chrome strip of buttons here, and Merc's latest MBUX system. You also get this beautifully built sporty steering wheel, wireless charging, a couple of cup holders here, and this elbow box. It isn't very large, but it's pretty deep, so it's sort of practical. Merc's Hey Mercedes voice prompt is also part of the package. You get powered seats with memory and a large sunroof above. Features you don't get include wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You get only a reversing camera and not proximity sensors, and you still need to press a button on the key fob to unlock the door. The back seat, however, is a comfortable place to be. So you do have a fair amount of space in the back, lots of leg room. You can stretch your legs out and put them under the seat. A decent enough backrest, this elbow rest and the one here make it pretty comfortable to be sat here, and visibility is pretty good. This lighter interior also brightens up the cabin and makes it look and feel a bit more spacious. And should you want more boot space, you can adjust the seat forward and back. And that's something that will come in handy. The boot at a maximum of 435 litres isn't very large. The new GLA is clearly a big step up on the earlier car. More spacious and comfortable on the inside, beautifully built and well equipped, it has what it takes to be the best compact luxury SUV in its class. Question is, should you go for the petrol, which is likely to cost between 43 and 45 lakhs, or the slightly more expensive diesel? If we had to choose between the petrol and the diesel, it would be the latter we would go for. It's a better rounded package, it offers stronger performance, and it delivers it in an effortless manner.